Generals, gentlemen.
Just coming into the game, into the rift, as we see, ladies and gentlemen, onto the right-hand side, we have Wen and Toyko. Prawnstar in the jungle on that Elise. A Rusty Spock will be in the bottom lane on the Lucian. Shark with lasers as that Thresh running Ignite as the support. Jake in the middle on that Gragas. We've seen him before. An unconventional pick for the top lane is the Garen, played by Rhyme.
Now this is funny because Hardwell no longer has the Thresh. Shark with lasers took his Morgana away from him. The funny thing about Hardwell is he had a bit of a reputation for getting the first blood with a death sentence invade 3 times in a row. But going in for the charge here, Wen and Tokyo looking to find their own invade, but won't find one, it seems here. BM80C playing a bit aggressively there, but won't get caught by the looks of it here, especially because Sharks with lasers on the Thresh is nearby that red buff.
Yeah, Hardwell going to find a bit hard not to secure first blood. The Dark Binding isn't as strong as BM8 getting dropped below right now.
Oh, very, very caught. That is the death sentence that we're looking for. Ignite is ticking. That's a fantastic Dark Binding there, locking down Prawnstar.
Yeah, that will definitely give a huge advantage towards this early game. They're possibly able to secure buffs. 2 teleports are coming out right now, both the jungler and the top laner of BMA. And this gives a good opportunity for Wen and Tokyo to secure Wukong, to secure BMA's red buff.
Got to be careful. Not only is there the death sentence, but there is also the cocoon. That has a deadly picking potential. If someone does run through the sour side of the brush there, indeed, Chisabra throws down his ward from the totem and is actually sticking around. That's a very, very risky here. Got to be careful against the Thresh and the Elise. But no, actually, Elise has the volatile Spiderling, so not having the cocoon.
Yeah, has not got the CC. Picking up that volatile Spiderling, trying to do as much damage as possibly can against the Wukong.
They're going for the red invade. Can they steal the red buff away from BMA? Where is the buff? It has been taken, but look how low Sharks with lasers is, and the smite got the red buff onto BM80C, so nice work.
Yeah, BMA taking his red buff, and many Threshing having to back off, clearing it out, trying to take as little damage as possible from the cast. Rhyme now fighting the dragon in the top lane, doing a decent trade where they even know that Burnout is running against the Garen.
For a moment there, I thought that he didn't actually clear out the little red. That would have sucked not having the time of respawn. But Spike and Rhyme, they're getting pretty low here, and Garen, really not someone that you see very often in the top lane, getting pretty low here to Spike on the Shyvana. How do you think Rhyme is going to hold up on that Garen?
Yeah, well, getting harassed so early against Shyvana is not what you want, especially when you're playing as a Garen. I feel like he's dropped too low in health to come back in this, but his passive does give him a fair amount of health back per second. As long as Shyvana keeps up that harass and pressure on Rhyme, he will not get that extra health back. Here comes the silence, though, and the judgment. No spinning slashes this game.
Yeah, unfortunately not there indeed, but look, has the Ruby Crystal, so going for a lot of early health, and it's nice work because he... What?
What are you... preserve.
You can just ask me what the ability... You don't have to make awkward gestures, but look, so for now, the Perseverance or Perseverance on Rhyme will give some nice sustain, but BM80C is looking up to the gank here. Spike getting pretty low, but going in for the engage, has to flash away. That wasn't the face check that he was looking for.
Nah, who would have thought Garen would go sour in a face check? That's not what he wants. The table's getting turned on Rhyme right now. He's a lot of pressure he's got in this top lane, at least just waiting off to the side. Prawnstar trying to make something happen in this top lane. As we turn our attention to the middle lane now, Gragas ahead of Orianna right now.
Yeah, so doing well for himself, both having the early Doran's ring, so that will give them good... Rhyme may drop to the red buff, getting quite low, but survives that one indeed. Chisabra getting pretty low as well from the harassment of Rusty Spork solution. Yeah,
Rhyme will have to back off after that, and Prawnstar will have to cover his lane. Yeah, so Greg's got a fair amount of damage out onto Orianna and got that extra CS. He comes down for the roam to the bottom lane. Will something happen from this?
Oh, he's going in for a gank. Chisabra wasn't actually hit by the barrel.
No, it's hit by the barrel, but not the belly toss.
Oh, of course.
On the Hardwell.
Yeah, the body slam. It did say spell disabled, and I had no idea what that came from, but Prawnstar in the lane, double buffed up, and Spike will have to recall.
Yeah, Garen returning with a Kendall Gem. That will give him a lot more, give him better health control, as well as get his abilities off cooldown more sooner. Garen does not, he is resourceless and does not only requires the cooldown, so it's going to be so beneficial on him. Shyvana does return with a chainmail, so we'll have to mitigate as much of Garen's damage as early as possible. It's probably a tank fight, battle of the Titan in the top lane.
Yeah, the Judgment definitely won't be as powerful with a Chain Vest, so a good early pickup there coming out of Spike. So BMADC farming up what he can and will now recall back to base.
Yeah, grabbing some items before his red buff comes up again. Both junglers have the timer on BMA's red, so they know when it's coming back. Will there be a fight over it? Maybe. I would like to watch one. That'd be exciting.
So for now, Kindle Gem onto Garen. That's an interesting first item there. But we'll give him some more health and, of course, the cooldown reduction. So that's, you know, a pretty good item considering the fact that he needs no mana or anything like that. But again, getting quite low. The burnout seems to be the superior spin.
Yeah, it does much more damage on Garen. Garen does not have any resistance. He just has a giant health bar, which pretty much works in Shyvana's favor. He gets that Flame Strike on it. It does more damage every proc. So that Dark Binding just missing by a hair. In the middle there, Excalibur pretty low on mana, so got to be careful with her ability spams, especially as she is approaching level 6 for the Shockwave. If she is out of mana, missing a kill because you can be the worst feeling in the world. Not being able to shield yourself or command Distortion away.
Excalibur doesn't quite get hit by the Cocoon, so that's nice there. Cocoon very, very deadly, especially combined with the Explosive Cask, which wasn't available for Jack, but it will be quite soon.
Goes for another roam into bot lane.
What?
Caught.
Fantastic death sentence there. Shark Laser getting hit by the Dark Binding. Hardwell getting very, very low from the harassment. Rusty Sport going in very, very deep with a Relentless Pursuit, but we'll be fine for now.
Yeah, throwing out that Lantern for the extra shieldage. Childra and Hardwell just backing off from the Rusty Spork and Shark with Laser, clearing out some wards. Good amount of poke coming out from a Rusty Spork. Just using his Piercing Light, followed up with his Gunslinger passive. Ooh.
Not quite getting the death sentence that he was looking for. So in the mid lane now, the Explosive Cask, of course, is available. Excalibur has to play a lot safely now because that really can shake things up. But for now, both of our junglers not really going for many of these ganks, just focused on getting up the CS, getting the levels, especially as BMADC, when he does get level 6, he will start to have some really powerful Cyclone ganks.
Yeah, it looks like he was struggling with that red buff there. But yeah, those Cyclone ganks are devastating. Getting multiple man knockups or just consistently staying with that damage. Combined with Orianna onto that Wukong, it can spell good one recover. Wow, that was a good Dark Binding there.
Yeah, Hardwell again getting quite low and gets connected by the Dissonance. Spell Shield not available, and that is your first blood. Rusty Spork picks that one up, going over to win in Tokyo.
Spike trying to do some proxy farm in the top lane, not paying out. Eating one turret shot to the face, going back into the brush.
8-minute Dragon, that's a very bold move here, but we do see Jack moving, nope, not moving into the Dragon, gonna stick around here, so Chiselbra, I think he knows what's up. He sees the Dragon being taken with the ward, tries to get the steal with the Piltover Pacemaker, and it must have been close, but the Smite gets that one in the end.
Yeah, Smite takes that completely away from the enemy team. Garen having to back off now, getting poked so low that Kendall Gem not paying out too well for him, but that should be able to build into his Spirit Visage very nicely. Lucian doing his best ahead in CS and gold against Chiselbra.
Very low on mana, so won't be able to net to safety if she does get caught. So doesn't have the Spirit Visage just yet, only returning with the Giant's Belt. Now that actually makes a lot of sense because the Spirit Visage, not only does it give him the AP, which he needs against the burnout of the Shyvana more than anything, but also then it will scale with his passive, so he will get more health over time.
Yeah, that is exactly right. If he gets any kind of lifesteal, such as a Vampiric Scepter or even a Hydra on Garen, which we have seen before.
But in the top lanes, judging away, but look, again, it's just not a lot of damage. Both of them going a very defensive itemization. Chiselbra getting a lot of damage though from a Rusty Spock, but I'll guess in the end, he was out of mana, so he couldn't use the culling, but he just manages to find that last auto attack and picks up the second kill.
Yeah, so much lane dominance in this bot lane. Oh wow, that was a great explosive cast. Fortunately, not be able to follow it up, taking one turret shot at Excalibur. Really low in mana right now.
Excalibur could have actually just walked away from that. There were all the cooldowns burned onto Jack, so he had nothing but burning the flash just to be safe. Again, the top lane is just going to be clashing heads and not exactly getting low, whereas a culling will be popped through to clear out the minions as BM80C moves in for again. Rusty Spork is out of mana now, but can still Relentless Pursuit, holding on to barely enough mana.
Cyclone was available in that gank, but unfortunately not getting close enough to be able to use it. Raimi clearing it out with his Judgment and backing off after that. Spike, if he lands a Flame Strike every fight, not being able to get that silence in and just using shield to block the remainder of the damage.
You got to be really careful when you're that low on HP against a Garen. The execute damage on his ultimate, Demacian Justice, it really can finish you off.
Yeah, lower you are on health, more damage it can do. It is magic damage as well, so building a Chain Vest will not help you at all against that.
Especially with the Ignite, but Spike playing it safe, backing away. Not able to get the Sunfire Cape just yet. Oh, in the middle lane, Excalibur gets a very, very deep dive and takes out Jack, so that's quite nice there.
Using Ignite picked up the kill, stopping that kind of heal which Gragas gets back from his spamming out his abilities, picking up that Codex and Chalice, and picking up more Dawn Rings. It's a Fiend's Rush for Gragas at least. Jack, that was dark. Nice dark binding in the corner. Onto Sharks with lasers. And a good defense coming out of a Rusty Spork, coming in with a Relentless Pursuit, trying to defend his support and apply a pressure onto Hardwell.
The black shields from Hardwell just aren't keeping Chiseled Bra alive because Thresh goes in, burns his combo, and basically then the Dark Shield goes on, and that's not actually affecting any of the damage of a Rusty Spork. He's still damaging just fine. So the Black Shield really needs to be to prevent the Thresh's CC rather than the damage of Rusty Spork.
Yeah, well, it doesn't it doesn't mitigate any of Rustic Spork damage. It's only magical damage the shield absorbs. So, and that's only from Thresh's Flay and Death Sentence. So.
Well, the Ardent Blaze appears to be magic damage, so I guess that would be nullified. But definitely the auto attacks and the piercing lights really are the primary source of damage by quite a large margin. So that's kind of what's making the impact. Prawnstar will get forced away.
In the early levels, it's not too important to actually do the damage of the Archer Blade, more getting the movement speed.
Exactly, especially as you don't level up Ardent Blaze, only level 1.
Yeah, only level 1, just to get the extra catching ability or clearing out the wave. There's also to get your Gunslinger passive up more times during engages.
Excalibur's getting caught here by Jack and Prawnstar, not able to get the repel. Explosive casting Excalibur, not back into the Elysia. There's a shockwave under the tower. Jack may drop here. One more barrel toss. He missed the barrel toss, and Excalibur gets him.
Excalibur, great work. Jack fluffing that at the last second, unfortunately, diving very hard, not putting his mouse a little bit further and only putting it to where he thinks they'll walk back to.
That sucks there for Jack, but pushing down
Devo.
The turret there quite low. A lot of minions were there as well. So for now, a pretty small gold lead for Wen and Toyko, but definitely still there.
Yeah, gold lead's a gold lead, and you can play that out. That bottom lane clearly showing their dominance. That BF sword getting picked up by Lucian, 2-0-0. He's looking strong right now.
Yeah, has the BF sword, where of course Chiselbra does not. Has the Vamp Scepter, so can't be too far off from his Bloodthirster, but BM80C is looking for a gank, but the ward does see him coming there indeed. Bloodthirster is actually within reach here for a Rusty Spork, so next time he backs, he could definitely pick that one up.
So as far as top laners go, it's not a bad pickup, Raimi's Garen. We've seen him play other top laners against the Shyvana and not doing very well. Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a long death sentence there. Chiselbra gets ignited, but that's a nice Soul Shackles in return. Not walking through the box. Rusty Spork getting very, very low after getting connected. If they walks through the trap, may have got taken out. The Chiselbra out of mana for that ace in the hole.
Jake coming down, trying to get some sneaky ganks, or just following Excalibur's roam, keeping with his mid laner, at least just waiting off in the wind. May have got spotted out by the ward in the river, which has just expired, but definitely spotted out by that ward in the Tri-Brush.
That dragon is spawning any second now. Positioning near that dragon will be very, very important. Jack will get the blue buff for now, which is great. But in the top lane, Spike clearing out a ward. Dragon is now ready for the taking. Wen and Toyko, they're starting this one.
Yeah, Wen and Toyko do have an advantage right now, but they can still get collapsed on BMA.
Cyclone and a Smite available here for BMAC. Won't get the steal though in time, but look how low Sharks with lasers is. Fantastic Cocoon keeping BMAC back away. Prawnstar has to flash away, playing a risky game here. Jack goes back over the wall with the body slam. Almost picks up a double kill, but there's a culling, and the dummy takes it. Shockwave will take take down a Rusty Spork, and Excalibur now looking very, very low. Death Sentence does land the killing blow combined with the Flay and Jack's auto attack. Fantastic work. Chiselbra out of mana, but Headshot doing not as much damage as I was hoping for, so he's going to survive this one just fine.
Yeah, Jack walks away. Good shutdown gold going onto Jack there. Be able to probably finish off Athene's. Athene's getting finished for Oriana, his fellow mid laner on the other side. Rami trying to do his best to defend this turret. Spike dropping it down though.
Spike got to be careful. He's almost in execution health because of the ultimate here. Not able to get him weak enough though to pop down that Demacian Justice.
It's roughly about 15-20% health you want them on before you actually use that Demacian Justice to forget like optimal damage out. If it's any lower, it's a waste of damage. If it's any higher, it will not do enough.
It's overkill.
Yeah, exactly, overkill. Rami just trying to get up par with farm. He's only about 5 CS behind his Spike, so it's not too bad. He's keeping up to pace. Galba coming in, showing some dominance with his full mana, full health, and just clearing that out.
Both of our marksmen now having their Bloodthirst, so that's going to be great for the extra damage. A Rusty Spork, however, also has the Vamp Scepter, so that's going to be nice for the extra damage. Hardwell trying to defend this tower. Tormented Soil just not leveled enough. You can't wave clear when it's only level 1, and hey, level 1, that's how you do play the support Morgana.
Yeah, it's great Dark Binding, a close range Rusty Spork.
Hardwell very, very low. Chiselbra looking for some damage, but nice aggressive CC. They're coming out of Sharks with lasers.
Yeah, Rusty Spork actually very low from engagement. Hardwell extremely low as well. That's Rusty Spork should be able to slowly siege us down. A good,
Oh, Dark Binding and the Death Sentence there. That will be a kill for kill, but perhaps not, as Chiselbra will get culled under the tower. A double kill for Rusty Spork. That's 4 of them now. He is snowballing hard, but BM80C, he's going to find him. The box, though, will slow him down the middle lane. Excalibur's getting quite low. Fantastic explosive cast. Shockwave not going to be enough here, as both of our bottom laners for When in Tokyo, they do survive that one.
Yeah, they both survived that. Jack doing some great explosive casts onto there. Excalibur getting taken out, and that was a great gank also coming out from Prawnstar. Prawnstar being around when his team needs him. 3-man mid lane, hopefully taking this out. BMA coming up to the side though.
That's going to be their first time to get. There's a Cyclone, but only onto Prawnstar. Repelled into the end, looking quite low, but there is the ultimate here from our Garen. Gets the killer in the end. Fantastic work. Spike now on the run, but won't be able to get out of trouble here. Gets destroyed. That's 2 for 1 on that middle tower.
Jake is on a killing spree right now. He is decimating waves here and then. Wow, that's a hard explosion onto Hardwell, dropping him to 2/3 of health. Rami doing a little bit of dance, still a taunt. Just a little bit of BM there. Chiselbra taking the golems. It's not too safe for him to be farming in lane, especially by himself against a Rusty Spork and a Shark with a laser. This is fresh, landing really clutch death sentences onto both the support and marksman,
which does allow a Rusty Spork to get these kills, and that's a real issue when a Lucian does start to snowball with those 4 kills, and a pretty good CS, 140, 18 minutes onto the clock. You can look at the burst, you can get that tower just fine. Because of how mobile the Lucian is, it's really hard to shut him down. Say if the Caitlyn got fed on Chiselbra, you can just focus her, and what does she have? She has the net, and she has the Morgana for the peel, but Rusty Spork has the Relentless Pursuit, has the Ardent Blaze for the speed boost. He's a really slippery Lucian. Hard to shut him out of those fights.
Yeah, even if Kate gets slowed, her 90 caliber net doesn't completely save her. She can jump over many walls, but that is not beneficial. BMA getting caught right now. Cocoon landing.
And a lot of damage as well from Prawnstar, turning that one around as the Dark Binding went in. Jack's there as well. He's now buffed up, so he's going to have a bit of extra damage there in the top. Spike still above in the CS, despite the Sonify Cape and the Negatron Cloak. A red buff may be contested. Prawnstar gets hit there by the Dark Binding. Red buff's getting taken quite low, but who gets it? I think that was... Nope, not BM86.
Prawnstar taken.
That's a nice Gragas ultimate there. Look how low Prawnstar is. Excalibur's getting caught, but gets the kill with a command attack. And there's flashing for the body slam, but will not find it. BM80C wants to help things out. Flashes over the corner of the Wraith camp just fine.
Unfortunate with that culling not hitting. It's on an awkward angle, but yeah, Prawnstar smited that away, smoked that away. Excalibur took it back from him. That's going to make Oriana's auto attack so much stronger. Spike and Rami having a little bit of the engages. Flame Breath land to do more damage for the auto attack procs.
clearing out the vision ward. Looks like they're positioning for the Baron, but just clearing out the wards just fine. Dragon's going to be spawning quite soon. They need to make sure they actually clear out that little red, otherwise it won't respawn the red buff. That's definitely not ideal, not having those buffs in your jungle.
No, you don't want that at all. Wen and Toyko clearing out all outer turrets of this game now. 3-2. Sorry, they still have the top to remove. Didn't even see that then. And it's a decent lead within their favor. Nearly 5k.
Yeah, that's pretty good considering how close these past 2 matches have been. This seems to be the most one-sided game, and this game really isn't that one-sided. There is a gold lead, sure, but the team fights can be so close given the power of those ultimates there from both of our teams. Dragon being finished off now, so even more gold going towards Wen and Toyko, playing this game very well.
Yeah, Nearly Large Rod coming up for Oriana, looking to do a lot of damage. It lands. Ooh, coming in really close to Prawnstar. Not hitting that cocoon onto the cannon minion though.
Definitely hard to land those skill shots on the Elise because of the repel. Makes her escaping very, very easily. Spike in the top lane, trying to split push it down, but Raimi's keeping that lane pretty good.
Yeah, Raimi doing the best he possibly can there. Shyvana not taking very much damage, building towards her Bladeron King. If she does get her Bladeron King, she will be able to out-trade Raimi into the top lane. Death Sentence narrowly missing Excalibur there.
There's only 3 members of Wen and Toyko on the tower, 4 of them on the seed. There goes Explosive Calves, but knocks them all back and none of them in. Not the exactly ideal Explosive cast, but we'll force them back for now.
Both main damage dealers are low and they have to back up. Chiseled Bruh and Excalibur too low to continue fighting, and that's just going to force Wen and Toyko to push this mid lane.
Chiseled Bruh is incredibly low. Got to be careful he doesn't get caught out by some of the long-range poke here, so we'll back away once he gets the chance. Raimi still pushing up the top lane here, whilst we do see Spike moving down to reinforce the mid lane.
Yeah, just doing some ward control. Raimi is roaming down to answer.
That blue buff is ready for the taking, so that may be invaded by Wen in Toyko. Definitely either man's blue at this stage. Gets the cook onto Excalibur, but no follow-up there. As they were backing away, Decoy looking for the engage, but won't find it. Rusky Spork very low on mana, won't be able to use his full rotation.
Not just yet. It's a 5-man mid lane. This is the first time we've seen the entire team group up now. Oh, flash over the wall.
It's wonky positioning. Look at the caching here. Beam 80C is very, very low. That's his tummy, but his real monkey isn't too strong either. Prawnstar may drop to the ignite. Shockwave goes in, hits down Rusty Spork. He's going to drop as well, but there is a Cyclone through the middle. Gets knocked back by the Explosive Cut. Execution from Ronnie Jack will drop just next and now caught in the Dark Bind. That's a dead Garen. That's 4 for 1 rather. Sharks with lasers. Not able to hold this Baron. They're very decisive. They want to get that Baron. Sharks with lasers. Not the best target to get the steal.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for him to get the steal. If he does go for it, that's going to be phenomenal.
But would definitely be a bit of a throwaway at this stage. So fantastic team fight. And the Baron from Best Mechanics AU will definitely keep them in the game. They were falling quite far behind, getting quite low, but that's fine as Wen and Toyko not able to get there in time.
Yeah, committing a little bit too hard to BMA's clone and the decoy. The decoy took a lot of damage while BMA himself, Higher and BMA himself, did not take very much at all. A Rusty Spork got removed from that fight really early into the game. Same with Jack, he got dropped really low on health and got removed. There was just not enough damage left. Raimi was the only one who picked up a kill in that entire engage, and that was on to, I believe it was on Spike, and using the Judgment.
That team fight was all over the place. It was between the blue to the wolves, back to here. It was just a little bit hectic there indeed. So 10 for 10, even on kills. Gold only about 2k above here for Wen in Toyko. Towers haven't been pushed down that badly, considering we are almost at the 25-minute mark. So definitely holding on to these towers quite well for the most part. Landing the max range Dark Binding there, repels it into the air. There's a Shockwave, but too early. He won't find it, but the Dragon's Descent will, and picks up that kill. Raimi's going to be fine under or behind the tower. Drops the outer middle turret there. and the rest of Win and Toyko in the bottom lane going to have to rotate back up.
Yeah, Wen and Toyko not dealing with the situation very well. BMA absolutely throwing down their pressure in the mid lane. Excalibur, so powerful as Oriana. He's on 7 kills right now, getting great shockwaves and getting great pressure with his bowl and catching out the jungler.
Once he gets the voice up, it's going to really start chunking, but that goes the tower very fast. Ryman's going in for a deep with a judgment. He will get focused down pretty fast and drops to Excalibur. That's a fantastic explosive cast, getting them all so low here. Spike's on the front, zoning out Rusty Sport, gets the kill with a Flame Breath, and Jack will get caught by the Dark Binding there, but a double kill for Excalibur and looking for that in-hit.
Yeah, another double kill coming out of Excalibur. It was a great ulti coming out from Jack, trying to peel Hardwell's soul shackles from his enemy team. He did that, but he peeled it onto himself, and then he belly slammed over the wall, but still got locked up from the soul shackles.
Best Mechanics Aus, not only did they get a couple of free kills, they got the middle inhib, the middle turret, and the bottom turret as well. Maybe even the bottom inner turret. So really getting a huge spike in their gold. All of a sudden, turning around that gold lead. We're now on a 43 to 39k. So a 4k gold lead for Best Mechanics AU. Dragon spawning in 50 seconds. A lot of wards as well for Win and Toyko around that bottom jungle.
Yeah, in this last 6 minutes, BMA have been all over the map. They got some great control. They got some great team fight potential. When they were at that blue buff earlier, ever since then, they've just snowballed. They got the Baron, they got the middle turret, they caught Elise out and dropped into a 4v5 while Rusty Spork and a Shark with lasers was still down on the bottom lane, so they were unable to defend the inner turret, and that's just caused them to push, and it then cascaded into a next inhibitor turret and an inhibitor. Great work coming out from MBMA.
Yeah, that's really, really great now. 6 against 2 turrets, so you're playing the objective game pretty well. Still no more Barons just yet, but looking at the CS, the most CS member of the game actually is Jack. We are seeing his explosive cast really chunk down. If he does find those backline squishies, he also is looking towards the Void Staff alongside Excalibur's Oriana, so they really will start to burst and chunk a lot more when they do get that magic pen.
Yeah, once Oriana gets that Void Staff, she's going to be so much more deadly. She can throw out more DPS than what Gragas can per second because of the command attack and command dissonance. While Gragas only has his barrel toss, he has his belly slam, but he has to get into melee range for that, and it's too risky in team fights considering he's not building tanky or like a bruiser style Gragas.
Yeah, considering his entire glass cannon, Shockwave goes in, but won't find a Rusty Spork. That's going to give Wen and Toyko a huge team fight advantage. The Shockwave is so integral to their team fight.
Yeah, it's pretty much made up that combo. When BMA has the on the Wukong, when he's carrying the ball, the Shockwave coming out to him is so powerful. We've seen some pretty good ones come out from Excalibur throughout the entire tournament so far. Chiselbra pushing this top lane, his team very close to defend him.
He may get caught here, repelled into the air. Had there been a talisman, which there isn't on the Thresh, he really could go for those scary engages. Going straight for the Randuins. Perhaps going to go for the talisman now with Nomad's Medallion. That's going to be very, very nice, giving them that extra team fight potential. Yeah,
looking for that extra tankiness and armor. That's primarily all the damage he takes. Oriana pokes him pretty hard, but if he plays it correctly and gets into the team fight, he will not get poked. Ooh.
Going for the dive, Cyclone under the tower, but a lot of damage onto BM80. There's a Dragon's Ascent as well, but a little bit too far, and there drops our Monkey Indeeders. Very aggressive tower dive, not paying off. A free kill now there for Wen and Toyko will allow them to keep their inner turret alive.
Yeah, that takes out BMA. 30-second death timer on that. How will Wen and Toyko respond to it? Baron will be up in the next 2 minutes, or a minute and a bit. Will there be some side control? No, it's just pushing back that middle wave. Since that inhib's down, there's so much pressure that's getting put on from these super minions. So Wen and Toyko have to use their time efficiently to remove them.
Spectre's Cow now, Nope, Spirit Visage rather finished onto Spike, so it won't be as easy to take her out in these team fights. Looking pretty tanky so far, despite having that Blade of the Ruined King.
Blade of the Ruined King's going to give her so much health back, and when she actually uses the passive, her heal will be even greater. Getting the extra movement speed, I believe. Yes, there's a lot of actual movement speed to steal away from Garen, especially if he's running with his silence sword. Trying to pop out people as much as can. Chillsbra just pushing this bottom lane, getting some extra desperate CS. Quite even with Lucian. Lucian just has a lot more kills those. That's where the gold disparity is. He has that last Whisper pick up as well, doing more damage onto every other person compared to what Caitlyn will be doing. She has that Phantom Dancer though. She'll be moving in and out of these team fights a bit more gracefully than what Lucian will be doing.
Yeah, I do like that early Phantom Dancer as the second core item because Caitlyn really isn't as mobile as the Lucian. So Lucian doesn't exactly need that fast movement speed as much as the Caitlyn, who does have the net, but not exactly the best escape. So it does give her a bit more peeling in those team fights.
It's not too bad, especially since she has such a beefy front lane. She can really run with her team, get as many autos in, and keep backing off after the auto. Her kiting ability has been increased immensely. Lucian already has good built-in kiting ability, being able to trade with that piercing light instantaneously and auto-attacking straight away with that gunslinger passive. Caitlyn only has a Piltover Peacemaker, which takes a little minor delay before it actually fires.
Going for the middle inhib here. Reimer getting bursted pretty low, but the Black Dark Binding lands onto Rusty Spork. Who's going to start this team fight? They're all very good. Explosive cast could be very, very deadly given their positioning. He's looking for it, only throws the lesser barrel, and Rami spins in just fine. There's a explosive cast and knocks back BM80C, but there's a counter Dragon's Head and a cyclone for the shockwave as well. There's a box in the middle, but Sharks with lasers does drop Hardwell. Fantastic spell shield, and the zones Rami will fall next. Prawn Star's pretty low, but he's fine in the back lines. Chiseled Bruh has the long-range auto attack and has survived that burst. That's a 2 for 0. Incredibly low BMA, but none of them drop.
Yeah, 3 members getting dropped very low. Hardwell doing a great job, showing how important that Zhonya's pickup was, getting really close into the fray, popping that Soul Shackles and waiting till the pressure either gets onto him because they can't actually escape it, but they're like, no, we can kill Hardwell. Pops the Zhonyas, they don't kill him, gets locked up from the Soul Shackles, and there's some easy kills getting picked around. Orianna picking up that Void Staff now, looking to do a lot more damage to every target. Gragas will answer with one himself, and Rusty Spork not able to Relentless Pursuit over that wall.
In a desperate move, Wen and Tokyo are going for the Baron now. BMA are moving into intercept, and it will force them back.
Yeah, safe disengagement, that's a good idea. You don't really want to throw at this stage, especially how close this game is right now. If Win and Tokyo win this, they will win the series, so they want to play this quite slow. You don't want to be thrown at this type of game.
But that being said, they can afford to play really, really risky, because if they do lose, not the end of the world. They do have another game, but there's a Cyclone, but it won't connect. There goes the ultimate, but the Dragon said Shockwave only hitting Prawn Star, but he will drop. That's a nice burst from the caster. There's a Cutling in the back lines. BMA sees very, very low. Spike tanks it for him. Good guy Spike taking that one, but there is Rami moving in to throw his sword onto someone's face, but no faces have been split in half by the Sword of Doom as Spike moving up to get that front inhib.
I disagree with this Warden Mail pickup on Rami. He doesn't really do much damage to anyone. He's just there as a huge meat shield, silencing
Going
people.
in, that takes down Shark with lasers. Look at that damage from Chizubra, taking down Jack. Incredibly low. Inhib now is free for the taking. Jack is so low. 30 seconds on Sharks with Lasers Death's Timer, and of course Prawn Star coming just a little bit sooner beforehand. A lot of minions on the bottom lane. The Rami wants to take out Chiselbra, but BMA, they're all recalling.
Yeah, they're all backing off. Gonna go grab some items, come back to the lane after they've healed up, and fight Wen in Tokyo again. Chiselbra taking blue buff away from Jack. He does not need that whatsoever. Rami trying to get down to this dragon, I believe. I think it'll just get taken away by Hardwell and Chiselbra.
Going to take that one out just fine, but maybe not. Rami's moving in, and so is his buddy Prawn Star. He has the smite as well, so can take that one. Rusty Spork's there in a 4v3. It was him going to the Dragon and a Shockwave. Fantastic wombo. Rusty Spork will drop here, despite the barrier perhaps. Nope, he's going to be fine with the culling, and we do see Rami fall to the ground. Who's going to be next? Ace in the hole may secure Prawn Star. It will not, but the Wolves may drop him there indeed. Hardwell falls in the back lines, ejecting some nice sniping there. A 1-for-1, and that went a lot better for Wen in Tokyo than I thought.
Yeah, that was a perfect shockwave with that Dragon Descent jumping onto him. Jack getting poked pretty low by BM80C.
There's a Lantern. Fantastic work there. Sharks with lasers. Gonna keep him alive for now. So crucial that a Rusty Spork did survive that team fight.
Yeah, Lucian also matching Caitlyn's Phantom Dance with one himself. having the extra attack speed, critical strike, and movement speed around the map is so good for him. He'll be very mobile now. Match Caitlyn's mobility now. Rusty Spork, I feel like he's under-leveled, actually. While Caitlyn's at level 16, looking really strong. Rusty Sporks has been with his lane partner the entire time. You've actually seen Hardwell roam around with his mid laner and jungler a fair amount. So that level disparity really shows a fair amount of the damage.
The funny thing about a Rusty Spork is he got those first 4 kills incredibly early in the lane, and I was expecting to see him just snowballing apart from that, but he hasn't got a single kill since the laning phase, not in these team fights, so hasn't able to get that incredible snowball. And now Chisabra really starting to come in power, 300 AD, and has incredibly long AA range.
Coming out of laning phase in general, Wen and Toyko haven't picked up many kills at all. BMA have been all over this. Great ward placement coming out.
That's going to be a shield, but Hardwell very, very low. That's going to start the team fight here, though. Perhaps Prawnstar's caught and are calling off to the back, doing a lot of damage there, knocking them all into the air. Sharks with lasers is low. BMADC does drop Spike. He's in the front, but too much damage. He gets shut down by our illusion. That's a fantastic shockwave, but no kills just yet. Excalibur with the GA takes down our Elise, and a double kill onto a Rusty Spork. That's just Rhymy left now. He is going to get taken low, but actually it's quite even thus far. Chisabra off to the side on full HP, doesn't land the body slam, but now Excalibur dropped to her GA. Fantastic timing, will land in perfect execution and take out Excalibur with the Q there of our Garen. So that is a nice turnaround for Wen in Tokyo at 2 for 4.
I was happy Jake got that shutdown gold. I don't think it's going to be used to the best efficiency on Garen, just for the fact that he isn't doing too much damage. He's just a huge meat shield, just trying to silence someone or using his ultimate, Demacian Justice, to judge upon thy who is low on health. Chisabra taking those golems once again, and Jack and Shucks with lasers have to defend this middle wave. That inhibitor going down.
And finally, we are seeing the Talisman of Ascension now on Sharks with lasers, but also on Hardwell. That's going to make these team fights a lot more brutal. If someone gets caught just that little bit, they can pop the Talisman, get in range for the Dark Binding, or vice versa for that death sentence there and the follow-up burst. Mainly the Cocoon there as well, but we'll have to see. Going for the Baron, Wen in Tokyo, going to clear out the wards. Won't start the Baron just yet.
Yeah, Wen in Tokyo went to go start that Baron, but backed off straight away. I don't think it's the best in their ideas to start this. Rusty Spork get dropped quite. Whoa.
Rusty Spork has to position very carefully. If he does get caught, that can definitely be the team fight over. He is so crucial to win in Tokyo's team comp now. Rhymy going in with the judgment, but not able to find anyone. The death sentence is so close, and that's going to be the engagement. Rusty Spork is fine with the pursuit again, not positioning as safely as he should be. Duke Spike taking a bit of damage in the front. A lot of minions now on the bottom, as Wen and Tokyo backing off for now.
Yeah, both teams not too keen to engage on this. Having good poke coming out from both of them, but yeah, they're like trying to get the other one to commit that little bit extra, but no one is wanting to. No one really wants to fight. It's quite close right now. A 5k gold into BMA's favor right now.
Hardwell out of position, having to go bottom to clear out all those minions will allow Wen and Tokyo to position for the Baron in a 4v5, going towards BMADC. Won't catch. Nope, just kidding. There's a Cocoon and a lot of burst. Cyclone's away out of trouble. There's a Shockwave as well, only hitting Rami. Not ideal, and a fantastic explosive cast. Chisabra does get taken out, and he's the target. He's shut down, but so is Chisabra, and that is incredibly poor. Spike now, he's going to drop soon to the barrels and the auto attacks. Nope, he's fine. Backs away. The hook barely missing the culling, though. Will the culling connect? Nope, the culling not able to cull well enough there, but now Wen in Tokyo, they're pinging for that Baron. They want to take that one, and they can. 2 for 0, and they're all on pretty healthy HP.
Unfortunately, Hardwell got taken out, and popping the Zonyas actually before even using those Soul Shackles, so no one got stunned from that, and it just got wasted there. BMH looking to get this Baron from the side.
The smite is available for the steal, but counteracting that with two of them jumping over the wall there. Ignite will not tick for the kill, but Baron will be taken here by Rami and a Rusty Spork.
Yeah, this is great.
Oh. Does get taken out. Either it was the volatile Spiderling or the tower shot. There really was no way of getting out of that one.
No, there was not. Took it the Manways approach and took the turret shot to the face instead. A lot of CS coming out into Gragas and a fair amount of kills now. Finally, Wen and Toyko have got some kills outside of their laning phase. So that 40-minute marks, it should be the turning point in the game where they have the Baron buff. They're equal on gold right now. It's that time of the game where who can win these team fights, play it better, and then just capitalize on these 60-second death timers.
Yeah, pushing through the jungle now as well. Dragon spawning very, very soon. And we do see that Jack is incredibly close to his item set and probably will finish that one up now with the Zhonya's Hourglass. That's going to be very brutal. Does have one more item slot just yet, actually, but the Zhonya's Hourglass is going to make him a hard cookie to focus. He is also Pure Glass Cannon, so he does need that type of ability.
Yeah, either a Banshee's Veil or a Guardian's Angel will probably be his last item. Raimi and Shucks with lasers looking to extend Wen and Tokyo's gold lead right now. No one of BMA is here to answer it, and they take that no problem.
Prawnstar very confident that the Spiderling's finishing off the Dragon. Sharks with lasers not quite getting caught, looking for that aggressive ward, but has the BV, so he can play just a little bit more bold than you would otherwise see.
Got a lot of expendable health he can use in every team fight. That Talisman should be very handy coming up. A Rusty Spork picking up that Guardian's Angel as well as that Elixir of Durance.
Brilliance?
Brilliance is the blue one.
Oh, I don't know, but anyway, pushing down the middle turret here. Prawnstar gets hit by the Dark Binding. That's fantastic. Excalibur getting a bit of poke. Going in for the engage. Look at the damage from the explosive cast. Rami not able to find the judgment that he's looking for. Rami does get locked down now by the Dark Binding under the tower, but no kills just yet. Explosive cast doing a lot of damage, but not enough follow-up. Tower does drop to the minions in the top lane. Yeah,
that minion ball is getting bigger and bigger by the second. Hardwell throwing out some desperate Dark Bindings, trying to get someone they do, but you can look at this Baron buff. Look how much health they're getting back every second. If they just, especially against this kind of poke comp, which Oriana and Hardwell, Morgana and Oriana excel at. So they can just regen it all back before every team fight, pushing it into the base of BMA.
Looking for the inhib turret. Now Cyclone in for the engage. Shockwave as well. Wasn't too bad there indeed. Rusty Spork is fine in the backlines. Rami does drop though. Rusty Spork still there with the barrier. GA does pop though. The command attack will get that killing blow. Rusty Spork though underneath, but fantastic lantern. Will it be enough? Hardwell gets hit by the death sentence there. Double kill for Rusty Spork. Still in this fight, but so is Chisubra. They are the two most important targets alongside Excalibur, looking very, very healthy there with the GA. So going to back away from that one just fine. Not going to lose any more of those inhibs there. Oh, the inhib turret even survived.
Great marksman support synergy coming out from Shucks with Blades and a Rusty Spork. Knowing his GA was coming back and grabbing that lantern. I thought the lantern expired. I could not see it on the screen, but he did take it, got out of the fray, landing the death sentence, and Rusty Spork responding to that with a relentless pursuit and getting that kill onto Hardwell.
Chisubra will take the red buff now, which is great. Going to have the Infinity Edge for that crit damage.
That was a 1.5 crit against the red buff then.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 357 AG on the Caitlyn. That's not too bad indeed, but at the same time, 375 for a Rusty Spork solution. So both of these AD carries really are going to be chunking hard, but Guardian's Angel not available now on a Rusty Spork, has timed out, and it is a long time of 5 minutes.
A Rusty Spork has that BF sword advantage, while Caitlyn still has the Doran Blade. So once she trades that in for another BF sword, possibly built into a second BF sword, or sorry, second Bloodthirster, it could be a very devastating high damage Chillsbra.
Yeah, pushing down the mid lane once again. This time around though, when in Tokyo, they have the minions pushing down the lanes. That's going to be fine. Raimi incredibly tanky. He's getting focused, but not really dying, at least not dying early enough for his his presence to not make an impact in these fights. So, look, Prawnstar looking for the cocoons. The Dark Binding will absorb the Banshee's Veil on Prawnstar, getting in very, very deep. There is a fantastic Cyclone and the Shockwave once again. So much damage in this fight. Rusty's Walk does drop. That is crucial. That is a huge deal for Wen in a Toyko. And there on the run for the life. Spike on the chase. Talisman full of disengage here. Will it be enough? Ace in the hole may secure the Thresh. Flashes away. Flame Breath not in range. Spell immune because of the Black Shield. Nice work. Sharks with laser jumps away over to the Wraith camp there. Prawnstar is running for his life. Spike, he's not giving up. He really wants to get this chases. He's not messing around. It has to flash again. There's a Randu, and this chase is one chase and a half, but a lot of damage from the barrel tosses in here will drop now. And that's going to be a disengage, I believe.
That fight occurred from one inhibitor to the other inhibitor. That was a long fight / chase. It was a great job from both teams. Unfortunately, a Rusty Sport getting taken out really early into that fight. His GA was on cooldown that entire engage. I felt like they shouldn't have committed too hard since that Rusty Spork's main item was down. So that did spell the worst for them. Raimi having no physical damage, just being that fat Garen meat shield that we usually see being played. Shyvana doing a heckload of damage as a top lane bruiser. At least Prawnstar coming around, hopefully gets something onto this Spike.
He will get caught by the cocoon, but not enough damage. Spike very, very tanky indeed there. I don't really think Raimi is contributing that much in these team fights, at least not compared to Spike. Going in with the Dragon's Descent, it does set up the Shockwave and the randoms, but also with the Blade of the Ruined King, Spike is doing a fair bit of damage onto the backlines, whether it be a Rusty Spork or Jack. It actually is zoning them pretty well.
Yeah, he does health scaling damage with the Flame Strike on the auto attack, so that's so beneficial into fights. Shyvana is a giant ball carry as well, so that's beneficial. What Garen is offering is just no CC, but I feel like a Black Cleaver could be very handy on him, using his Judgment to get the 3-4 stacks of the spin to multiple members of BMA could be very devastating with the Lucian combined, making everyone so low on health they can instantly just get dropped.
Yeah, for the Armor Shred as well. He does have the silence on his Q, but that's hard to actually make that land on the target that matters, considering it is a melee range. But they're going in. BM80C is looking for this fight. Shockwave only hits the 2, but not the squishies in the back lines. Raimi's getting very, very low. Rusty Sport, he's fine in the back lines. Hard Chiseled Bro as well. They're both what need to be in the back just fine, soaking up the damage and dealing it in return. Shark with lasers will drop here. Now Raimi spitting to his own demise, perhaps. He's going to get taken out by a Spike. Culling almost taking out BMADC. Only one death. Shark with laser Jack now flashed away and does get caught by the trap, allowing Chiseled Bro to get the kill. So that wasn't the best there for Wen in Tokyo, but given how low all of Best Mechanics Aus are, they are not going to back off and going to go for the Baron.
They're going to go Baron. Everyone is under 50% of health. BMA is super low right now. If Prawnstar can get to this Baron, can spell no, they're going to get this no problem whatsoever. Chiseled Bra, full health.
And so much lifesteal, able to tank through that one.
Yep.
So in that case, now getting the Baron, that's fantastic news for Best Mechanic Aus. The inhib is still down though here for Wen in Tokyo, but look, that team fight definitely could have gone a lot more one-sided for the other team.
Yeah, each team fight is going towards BMA, then back to Wen in Tokyo, towards BMA, then back Wen in Tokyo. It's a repetitive occurrence I see in each team fight. That they don't fight when they're fully at their advantage. They just want to force it. They really don't have the self control not to keep away from these engages or like be able to tell when it's a good time to fight. When Rusty Spork has a GA up, that's prime time.
Well, the issue for both of those teams really is that neither one of those 80 carries died. Chiseled Bra and a Rusty Spork, they were both fine in the back, so look, that's what really matters. If which one of these 80 carries does get focused and gets shut out of the team fight, then it'll be quite one-sided as a result, popping the Talisman to back away.
Yeah, you don't want to get picked up. But even right now, at this 50-minute mark, that one support kill can be the difference of a team fight. Thresh offers a lot of utility and a lot of CC in every single team fight. So when he is down, he does not have that saving potential. He doesn't have that catching potential, which he could have.
Inhib resporting, but not for long. We'll get taken down very, very fast. Death Sentence almost landing onto Spike, but some follow-up harass, but not able to connect from Wen and Toyko. Jack will get hit, though, by the Dark Binding, but won't matter at this stage. He's going to position into the jungle by the looks of it.
Great job of pulling them off their inhibitor, trying to the best they can. It's a couple of shots being taken down, but if they keep that inhibitor up, they will have no pressure in the mid lane and can actually push and expand outside of their base, but it doesn't look like BMAs will let them do that right now.
50 minutes on the clock. This is going to be very tense, very long death timers. Who loses this fight to a significant degree? May lose game. Excalibur gets caught. That is crucial, but a nice spell shield and going in with the initiation. There's a nice blast, explosive cast, knocking them all aside. There's a shockwave. Fantastic work, but will it be enough? Who's going to drop? There goes our Thresh. BM ADC very, very low, but he's fine with the black shield. Jack in the zone is double kill for Excalibur. Jack now back up in the party and drops very, very fast. That is your ace. BMA, they romp that fight, and they're going to have this game no problems at all.
Yeah, Excalibur getting caught with a death sentence, and Wen and Toyko choosing to engage off that. Unfortunately, it didn't even pop Oriana's Guardian's Angel, and it just spelt the worst. Rusty Spork was taken out very quickly. Jack Guardian's Angel was popped pretty quickly as well, and there comes the GG.
And that is the GG from BMA. We are going to now move on to our 5th and final game for this best of 5 grand final series here. We are the Generals Gentlemen, and we'll be back shortly with the 5th and the final game of the grand finals.